Hello, and welcome, my fellow adventurers. And today, I want to talk to you about my favorite game series, Ease. So let's get logistics out of the way first. In this series, so in this video, but it will be a series, I'll be 100%ing the game and showing you how to 100% the Ease games while explaining and sharing the joy of adventure with you all, in the name of Adel Christen. The game version being played will be the one that in my opinion is the definitive version, so sorry every turbo graphics enjoyer out there, but this video will cover the Chronicles version, which you can easily get on Steam or GOG, very cheap usually. You also get 1 and 2 in one package. However, I will post the link of a YouTuber in the description, a playlist. His name is Above Up, and I'm pretty sure he covered all the Ease. It's been a while since I watched his videos, but I'm pretty sure he covered all the Ease games. But he shows like the different versions, and there are some interesting games in there. But yeah, that link will be in the description for proper comparison of the different game versions. My eyes are already barely functioning, and those older versions, they need some epilepsy warnings, because they are something, let me tell you. Watch his videos, they're great. By 100%ing, I don't just mean playing the game fully, but literally getting every achievement that you can get on Steam or the PlayStation versions. That includes weird stuff along the lines of getting Fina's measurements, which I hate that achievement. I'm not gonna stand on a soapbox, but it's kind of disgusting. Time attack and hidden missable stuff. Later games are way worse at this. Ease only has like a couple of missables, and that's only really the first game. The second one doesn't have any at all, if I remember correctly, but we'll get there when we'll get to that video. Lastly, while Ease 1 and 2 are very interconnected, and Celceta also being a direct follow-up, each video will only cover one game at a time, since otherwise I would never get around to actually making these videos or finishing these videos, and it just seems smoother as a video experience, since some viewers might only care about a specific entry in the series, or even just a specific achievement or a boss fight. So what are these games about, I hear you asking, wonderful viewer? Generally, we follow the adventures of the dashing young red-haired lad you saw in the intro named Adel Christen, who quite literally is the first adventurer in the world of Ease, who decided that he wanted to travel the whole world and experience as much as possible after, I think it was a wandering trader, visited his hometown and told him some stories of different cultures and the likes while he was a child. The games are basically a retelling of Adel's adventures. We are more or less reading his diary containing all of his exploits. Adel also isn't traditionally a chosen one. It's more like he travels the whole world, he gets into shenanigans, and because he's so pure of heart, he just gets roped into all of this stuff and gets chosen. You have two options if you ever are on any form of transportation with him. The first one is stay very close to him, or get as far as possible away from him. It's gonna, if it's a boat, it's gonna crash. If it's a train, it's gonna explode. If you're riding a horse, the horse is just gonna, you ride into war and you're stuck, okay? Also, this way of handling the lore, so you're basically just reading his diary, right? It's great because each Ease game can take place whenever, and they can just create games that harken back to like the dog of a random guy. Since the lore, like lore-wise, it already happened. We're just reading it. But also, it can cause some headaches because the timeline looks like, hopefully in editing I show it, but the timeline is kinda funky. Let's just put it like that. During the intro, the boat Adel was traveling on obviously crashes and leaves Adel stranded on the beach. Luckily, he gets found by the local militia leader Slav and gets brought to the local clinic. Unfortunately for everyone else, but luckily for Adel, the entire island is surrounded by a stormy wall, so there's no leaving, but that also means it's adventure time. Come on, tell your friends. We start the game on Nightmare to get all the achievements in one run, because I like to punish myself. Slav comes to check up on us, and on screen we can see our HP bar, the enemies, our current HP, XP needed to the next level. You can swap it to total, but don't do that, and current gold. Levels and equipment in the E-series are its own beast, but I'll get to that a little bit later. You can also freely swap between 3 versions of the OST, 2 art style versions, and 2 movement mode, being omnidirectional or 8-directional. In the notes you can see 8 pages of character slots that we will need to fill out, and the first 21 of those are in this harbor town called Barberdo Port. Talking to every character and then going back to Slav will get us a free sword, which is an achievement. The townspeople tell us a bit about the town itself, that their main trade before the storm wall was silver export, and before that it was just a small fishing village, which it's now back to because of the storm wall. That 6 months ago this massive influx of demons happened, and that's kinda a big problem because, well, again, the storm wall exists, so no help is coming. I also really like this of Mason the trader guy, who just goes, I came here because I heard I could make a tidy profit in the local silver trade. Now I just want to go home. Damn storm wall, may its stormy progeny all suffer uncomfortable bloating. It's just a really relatable grumpy uncle. Slav gives us some more information regarding the island Asteria as a whole, that's the region we are on, and some more specifics, like there being a walled city called Minea and a mountain village named Zepik. Before the demons there was also a town called Rasting, but it got razed to the ground by the demons, is what he says. We'll get to that later. And the mines had to be closed. At the end he mentions Dam Tower, something like Asteria's claim to fame or a site, but he doesn't really pay it any heed and just says it kisses the cloud, and that's about it. So he doesn't really care about the huge tower. When asked about the Stormwall, specific thing seems to be popping up over and over and over again. It appeared 6 months ago, same as the demons, while ships were carrying silver, and this wasn't an isolated incident. It kept happening. The cities that are still standing each survived the demon invasion for different reasons, it seems. Minea had its huge surrounding city wall, and Zepik seems to have a magical tool that kept the demons at bay. As mentioned before, Racint got destroyed and the local folks of Barbado had to raise arms themselves and found the militia to fight off the demons. When leaving the town, you get a pop-up tutorial explaining the combat system of the game. That's right, friends, it's bump combat time. Hakira Rashi, whenever Tekuru no Doda. Yeah, it's E's famous bump combat system. I think Xanadu also had it. So bump combat, you run at an enemy head on, you both get hit. You run at it at an angle, which, you hit it off center, they only get hit. And in the newer versions of E's, you can actually run at them from an angle because, you know, you have 8 directions or omnidirections. And that way you just absolutely obliterate them. About that not getting hit part, you really don't want to get hit, but first we want to be properly prepared since the game is hard enough on Nightmare as is. So we go back to Slav after talking to everyone and leaving the city once. I think you have to do that. And after talking with him, he doesn't want to see more people die and offers us a job in the militia, but he sees the call of adventure. Well, they don't call it adventure because, again, Adel is like the first adventurer to ever exist in his eyes. So he gives us a short sword, so we at least have a way of defending ourselves while exploring Asteria. Yeah, you like that? You saw that, right? You really don't want to get hit, and you want to be saving a lot as well. Great news though, levels and equipment make a massive difference. I'm talking about going from getting 2-tapped to face tanking. Like literally face tanking. So we go from what you just saw to what you should see now if I edit this properly. But you will see it in the video. I'm just really bad at editing. But yeah, don't get too hyped because the game still expects you to actually get good. After all, the level cap is 10. The level cap is 10. I hope you like improving because, well, we will have to get better. Ease also, by the way, when I say ease, I'm talking about 1 in this video, right? Ease also takes a unique approach to healing, namely doing so by just standing still and waiting. This, however, is disabled in dungeons and boss fights. You are allowed to use a health potion in dungeons, but not in boss fight. I honestly don't know if you can use a potion in normal mode during a boss fight. I don't play the other modes because again I don't really like myself. I also showcased the free OST versions in the planes, and I have it recorded for every segment of the game, but I don't know if I left it in editing. But the video I think is long enough, so I might show them all, I might not. But there is something you can do. You should buy the game. It's seriously, it's super cheap usually, and if you browse the local files of the game, there's a folder that you can open. You catch my drift. Okay, so we arrived in Minea. Starting checklist. You want to talk to everyone in the city again, like you did in the last town, and your notebook by the end of this should now contain numbers 22 to 64. You can also do the Prim achievement right now, but I did it way later. In the video right now you should see it. That way it's more concise for you, the viewer. You can choose whether you want to do it while buying or selling. I recommend doing this with the Sapphire ring to get even more of a merchant flip. Make a nice tidy little something something on the side, if you catch my drift. All you gotta do is click on the same item and click cancel over and over until he finally lowers or raises his price, depending on if you're selling or buying. He also calls you daft, which I think it's funny. Anyways, buy a mirror. If you want to skip some backtracking as well, then buy the wing also. The mirror will be tied to 2 achievements. Just using it near NPCs, so you can do that right now. You just have to do it once and then the speech bubble will pop over them. And the other ones, I'll get to that when we're at that part. The citizens of Minea mention thieves a lot in connection with all of their silver being stolen. A certain girl called Ria mentions her silver harmonica being stolen. Also make sure to just take in the sights sometimes. Like, this game truly is beautiful, especially for like a game that is this old. Even the OG version looks really good for the time it came out. And it had proper voice acting. Pokemon could never. It could never. Like, the voice acting back then, I'm talking like 89. 1989 was pretty darn good. I said I want to insert something here, but I can't. Dr. Klaus, he runs around the city and checks in on patients, so he might be annoying to find, but just run around and like you can hear doors opening and you find him. Also make sure to talk to the 4 patients in the clinic, as they do count towards completion. Those were the ones I was missing. There's also a word of strange, ominous, cloaked stranger being seen, but the citizens aren't sure whether or not it was real. The game also tries to hint at a connection between the thieves, the silver, and Pim, but it's a red herring. Pim is just a shrewd businessman, and he found the ring on the ground, so he decided to clean it up and sell it. The city is also home to the armor and weapon shop of the game. On offer are the chainmail, plate mail, and reflex, a serious staple, as well as the small, middle, and large shield. In the weapons shop, you can buy the long, short sword, and talwar. You already got the short sword from the first city as a gift, and that's an achievement. However, this weapon, the talwar, got lost in the shipment. The game won't let you buy duplicates, so don't worry about accidentally wasting your money. However, if you are doing a 100% run, buy the armor shop, buy it out over the course of the game, but before the cutoff point that we will get to later. And the talwar got lost during shipping, so we will get back to that one as well. So just keep in mind to buy the armor and shields gradually, and buy the long sword right now if you can. You can get the last equipment pieces in the final parts of the game, but we're going for all achievements, So you want to be on the safe side. Just do it before the cutoff point, okay? Like, just buy the items gradually. It's fine. It's okay. It's not really immiscible. There's like a big warning at everything. It's not missable. We also meet Sarah in the city, who's a fortune teller, and she tells us that she's been waiting for us, the red-haired swordsman, and needs to ask a favor of us. But first, we gotta get our equipment in order. So go buy the small shield and chainmail with the money you do have now. Funnily enough, the game does let you say, like, no, you can just say no to major characters, but instead of the game just closing, the characters go, yeah, well, that fucking sucks, but you have to agree to continue the game. Sarah asks us if we know anything about the Books of Ys. She tells her that Ys was an ancient kingdom and its history is detailed in 6 books, and one of them can be found in a mountain shrine, and our job is to go and get it, and for that, we will need her crystal to guide the way. We are also supposed to find her Aunt Jabba in the mountain village of Zepik. She knows a lot more about the history of Ys and can help us further. Before you head into the shrine and visit the village of Zepik, we head to the bar and find the owner of the ring, so we give it to him and get rewarded at 1.5k. So no matter what, you will make a nice profit for helping out the local folk. So whether you haggle or not, whether you just buy the ring outright, you make a profit either way. They'll also tell you about some big rhoda trees. One of the patients also mentioned that he got hit from behind and his heirloom, a silver shield, got stolen. So silver just keeps on getting mentioned, huh? Like, over and over and over again. So, arriving in Zepik village and talking to everyone will leave you at 81. Whoops. At 81 for now, like people you've talked to in your notebook. In this town, we get some more information, namely about the Rhoda tree fruits, the suspicious black-cloaked man, the two, what they call goddesses, but I'm not going to go too deep into the lore in this video, but they're called the Winged Ones. These guys don't know any better, so they call them goddesses, but they're not. But yeah, so they talk about the goddesses statue that seem to have moved. Like, they were there before, but now they're not. They also tell us about the Silver Bell and the bandits whose hideout is just on the mountaintop, like above the city, and also next to the shrine that we are trying to get to. Before heading there, we talk to Sarah's aunt, Jebba, which she told us about, who gives us the shrine key and warns us of the danger within. The village elder firmly believes that the thieves have stolen the prized silver bell and is willing to pay anything to get it back, so seems to be very important. He also seems to know something about the silver that no one else does, and begs us not to let any of the villagers know that the bell is in fact gone. He sends us to the thieves to negotiate, so before heading to the shrine, let's deal with this whole thief situation first. Like, what is going on with all the silver? Why are you guys stealing from these people? Arriving at the hideout though, we talk to their leader, Goban, who tells us that they only steal from those exploiting others, and they... speaking is hard, man. And that they got robbed too. Also, they have nothing to do with the silver theft, and in the back, they seem to be guarding an ominous-looking door. Make sure to talk to these two grunts after speaking with Goban to get their entries. We'll come back here later anyways, but just make sure that you have their entries as well. When they actually, like, you'll know you have their entries when they actually speak to you instead of just giving you the red treatment from Mount Silver where it's ... Also, the original is from 87, 89, somewhere along those lines. I think I mentioned this already, but it had pretty good voice acting and was actually, in fact, one of the first games to do so properly. Again, Pokemon could never. As much as I like Pokemon, it's just sad at this point. We make our way back to the village elder, who now remembers that black cloaked man. We connect and talk about all the main pieces in a little bit, but it is time for the first dungeon. And I would be remiss to not mention that you should use the ease maps that you can find on Steam, Google, all over the internet. This will help you orient yourself way better. You will get lost if you don't do this. Even with my video, because I have to like cut things out, and otherwise this video would be like 14 hours long, right? So use the ease maps. Use them. What else do I need to mention here? Yeah, before entering the shrine, we also still have to pick up the bestiary potion, which when read... Man, I need to either cut way more out of this video, fill the air with some other stuff, or just keep it like this. I don't know. It's kinda... Well, anyways, I'll just continue for now. I've never done a video like this, I apologize. I usually never have a script, I just free flow of the dome, but yeah. Anyways, when read, the bestiary potion reads, Potion blessed by a priest. Gives insight on defeated enemies. In order to activate this, you have to equip it and then press the use button. For me, it's X on the controller, so square for a PlayStation controller. Once you drink it, defeating enemies will gradually fill out their bestiary entries. It takes somewhere between like 10 to 16 kills of each specific enemy. roughly to fill out the entry, and you can check this by going to your notes, so where the characters are, and then pressing S on your keyboard. I don't know what button it would be on the controller, I haven't tested it, I just pressed S. General tip for this achievement is to fill out all entries before entering the next boss fight. So all the enemies that are available before a specific boss, you fill out the entry then. I actually forgot to drink this potion for a while, so like I kept killing enemies, but it didn't actually work. But then I remembered, I drank it, and then it was all good. There are 36 enemies and 7 bosses in East 1. Okay. So, finally we enter the shrine. And you can see the statues, and one is shining golden, and that's because we have the stone Sarah's crystal. So in the first floor of the shrine, you can find a locked chest that we can't open yet. And strangely enough, no enemies are there. Also, there's a ruby in the chest that you can actually open. And if you want to, you can sell this to Prim. I didn't do it. I didn't have a need for it. I didn't need the money. If you're doing 100%, right, you'll be grinding so many monsters that you'll have enough money. And there's also one item I didn't pick up. It's also just something to sell. It's in the plains, like the starting area next to one of the rhoda trees. I just didn't go back to open it. You don't need it for the 100% achievement. In this game, you don't have to collect every single item. It's just the important items. Anyways, the ruby, the shrine key reads, a gorgeous key made of crafted ruby and gold with a complex design. Sarah's crystal reads, a luminous crystal with an exotic base, sparkles in the light. We soon find out, after opening the red door, that the reason there was no need for enemies on the first floor is, if my past self would speed this up, there you go, is because this room is guarded by Gianocris the Flame Sorcerer, our first boss of the playthrough. And I really want you to watch the difference of damage dealt between level ups. Like, you see this? That's the damage I'm dealing right now. I'm tickling him. That's nothing. Strategy-wise, there isn't a lot going on here. You just wait until he pops up. And if no flames are in the way, you whack him. That's it. That's all strategy there is. So, after this try, I'm trying to off myself right here. Okay, there you go. So now I'm leveled up. Now watch the difference. Boom. Yeah, it's a joke. The game's difficulty in general is it's kind of funny in the beginning since level 10 is the cap, but levels in these games make a massive difference. So if you ever struggle, level up once and it should be fine. Also, you will be level 10 before the halfway point of the game. Almost guaranteed anyways, even if you don't do 100% run or play on Nightmare. But yeah, so ease leveling, kind of funny, and this is the tradition. It's not just in this game where you have a level cap of 10. This actually is in every ease game. One level makes a massive difference. So here I just show off the bestiary. As you can see, everything is filled out before the first final boss. So you always want to make sure to do that. The little pigs, by the way, they're next to the northwestern rhoda tree. That's where you can farm those. I'll show the area later because of a side quest we have to do. Can pass me speed this up a little bit? Come on, come on. Okay, so after the magician goes down, the wall behind him crumbles, allowing us to enter the shrine dungeon proper. But before you do, make sure you have the beastie entries 1 to 5 filled out. This isn't a cutoff point, it's just to keep your, I don't know, like your headspace sorted. But yeah, in the first floor, we find 2 closed off prison cells that seem to be occupied, and a locked chest. So for now, we have to continue to the next floor. In this floor, the second one, we will manage to find the you know what, let me sync it up with the video. Why am I showing up the music? It's good, it's pretty good. Ease has some insane banger soundtracks. I mean, did you hear the intro though? Did you hear the intro though? It's good, it's good, what can I say? You know what, I'm just vibing for now, to sync it up with the video. Okay. Did I not cut that out? Oh, well, there you go. There are the 2 prison cells. The game tells you that they're occupied. And then... Oh yeah, at this point in the video I was still like trying to show everything. I'm gonna give that up later on. Like, I'm sorry. I'm not gonna show the entirety of Dam Tower. That would be yeah, a lot. Okay, so now I just walk all the way to the left in order to go down. Man, I should have edited this video better. Okay, so finally, next floor. So on this floor, we should be able to find a very, very special chest. A very important chest. And that chest contains... Come on, past me, speed it up. Yeah, don't go there yet. That's why I left that in. Don't go down to the 3rd floor. You will die. It's the same with the abandoned mine. You can take East 1 is kinda open world. You can just go to the abandoned mine. You will die. Anyways, there's the treasure box key. This will allow you to open any chest in the game. Making use of this, we will open the other chests. That chest gives you the prison key. And lastly, you see that chest on the top right there? Right there? That contains the silver bell. I spoiled it. I spoiled it. The silver bell of Zepik Village. Oh my god, why did I cut this video like this? Anyways, there's the silver bell. The treasure key reads, a master key made of bronze will open any treasure chest. The prison key simply states, a poorly made rusty iron key opens the prison gates. And the silver bell relic said to have guarded Zepik Village. Its sound is calming. So with these new items, let's head back up a floor. So back to floor 1. And open the prison gates that we saw. And we're gonna find out what they got. So there we go. We are indeed going up. Yeah, that's too far. Go to the right. Go to the right. Okay, go 1 down and then to the right. I didn't play with maps at this point, so... Yeah, the first door just has an enemy, but... You saw that other room? That room guards a woman named Fina. And she looks... kinda similar to Ria, the other girl we met who lost her harmonica, right? So... The only thing she seems to remember are her name and the dark man who locked her up in this room. For as long as she can remember. Like, the only thing she remembers is her name and that she's been here all this time. Also next to her is a chest that got put here at the same time as her, which contains the Mask of Ice. This is indeed a escort quest, but not really. So the Mask of Ice, stone mask with inset jade. Hides enemies but reveals secrets. So now, you see the mirror item that I told you to buy? It's time for 3 achievements all related to Fina. And I hope you brought the mirror. I told you to, because otherwise this part will be a nightmare. You get it? You get it? I'm supposed to put a joke as effects here. So for achievement 1, we need to level Fina up. You do that by hitting the enemy once, using the mirror, saving, and then pushing her into the enemy. And when the enemy dies, she gets a level up. Now, to the left... So if you fail, you just reload the save, right? Now, you need to push her into that corner. This is the achievement I hate. It's a double whammy. So you shove her into the top left corner for the measurements achievement. But you also equip the Mask of Ice in order to make it as creepy as possible. So Mask of Ice to get the measurements, and in that corner to make it creepy. Unfortunately, there's a similar achievement in East 2. Yeah, just get it out of the way. with this nasty deed done, it's time to get her to safety. I honestly don't know if you can just wing out or run in front, but I simply took my time. This also gives me more time to write while editing. But you can just save and use the wing to see if it works, or just save and run ahead. I don't know, so just if you want to be safe, just do it like I did it in the video. I should have tested this. Yeah, I should have tested this, but it's fine. That's what I meant by kind of an escort quest. You are escorting her, but it's very simple, it's very easy, it's chill. But yeah. When arriving in Zepik, she collapses and we bring her to Jebba, who decides to look after her. With our first trip to the shrine done, it's time to prepare before heading back. However, before we do that, I want to talk about the 4 main things that are happening and what we know so far. First, all of the silver's getting stolen, and people seem to think that it's the bandits doing. After checking in with them, we find out that it's not, in fact, another joke of SFX here, they are doing. 6 months ago, the Stormwall appeared along with a lot of demons, and primarily the silver trade ships got attacked. And no one else can come in. Thirdly, the 2 goddesses statue, so the winged ones, are gone. And lastly, there's a dark cloaked ominous man that is sometimes seen, but no one is really sure. We also met 2 blue-haired women that seem to be twins who can't remember much and look just like the winged woman from the intro, and in the game screen you can see them at the bottom. Therefore we can surmise they are, in air marks, the 2 goddesses who for some reason were petrified but woke up from their slumber. The cloaked stranger is either weak to silver or needs a massive amount for his plans, and manages to capture one of the winged women and threw her in the dungeon, and the storm wall is probably also his doing. Now let's continue. Okay, we give the mayor his bell back and he rewards us with the power ring. This one doubles our damage, but keep in mind, rings don't work in boss battles. It does give you a mental buff, like a player buff. It doesn't work in boss battles though. Some people think it does. It doesn't. It doesn't. I promise you, it doesn't. Time to head back into the shrine since we aren't done yet. But as always, before that, I decided to pick up the piece of paper next to the southeast Rhoda tree. This paper mentions it's written in an unreadable language. You should also go back to the first town and talk to Slav, since he has a special gift for us. If you read guides online, they tell you to do this after the 3rd boss, but you can do this now. And the reason why I'm telling you to do this now and showing in the video that I'm doing this now is because we can get, like, if I remember correctly, all of the missables out of the way now. There might be one thing we have to come back for, but we'll see. But yeah, so as you can see right now, you can do this a bit later, but you have to do it before the cutoff point. And we walk very slowly behind them. We just take a nice long walk to the warehouse to receive the gift. Yeah. It's still going. It's still going. He opened the door. There he goes. Okay, he gives us a sword. And it's the tower! Hey! So he basically found this while doing a patrol, and he found it in one of the shipwrecks. So yeah, you can go back to the weapons dealer, and he'll be like, that sword, that curved blade isn't from around here. Yeah, you can rub it in his face. But you have to get this for an achievement. That's why I show this. This is actually important. It's just that people will tell you to do this after the third boss, but you can't do it now. But you do have to do it before the cutoff point. So why not just do it now and get a nice boost to your damage? Okay. So. Do I do it in the video? Yep. Back to the shrine. So the chest in the beginning, it's the shield ring. This one doubles your defense instead of the power ring, which doubles your offense. Now it's time to go deeper into the dungeon, so the floors that we couldn't deal with before, because we're not done yet with the shrine. We have to pick up a couple of keys, or was it one? It's the ivory key. Yeah, we need that one. And hopefully my past edited it better. Okay, a fine ivory key fashioned from tiny interlocking shapes. There's the silver shield. Okay, I did edit this better from here on out. And then there should also be like a health potion in the chest. Let's see here. Yep, there you go. Okay, so you don't have to open every chest for the 100% achievement, but it kind of like scratches an itch in my brain, so I decide to chuck my potion in order to open this chest, make it open, get the health point. I just like it more this way, like just pick up the new one. Okay, next up is the marble key that we have to find. Did I go too far? Oh yeah, I'm still not using maps at this point. That's why I keep equipping and unequipping the mask. There is one point here where you have to equip the mask. But I think I'm already past it. Anyways, there's the marble key. And that statue will lead you to the boss. Okay, why did I show the run-up? But it's fine. Okay, this one reads, a key of brilliantly... Or not. Okay, there's a terrifying bloodlust from within the chamber. What is this presence, you might ask? Well, after the third red door... What am I doing? Okay, the wall awakens! Finally! And it's Night Hilger, a centipede like demon. You just spin him around and he can't really hit you. And then you smack his bottom. But also, as you saw there, don't hit his head. You won't deal any damage and he'll just slice you apart. So just spin him and keep hitting his body. I'll show these bosses off better once we get to the time attack part of the game, which is like at the very end. But as always, make sure you fill out the bestiary. As you can see on screen in a second, I still have some off-screen grinding to do. But the beast was guarding a Book of Ease, however we can't read it, so we gotta head back to Sarah. Yeah, I kinda messed this part up, like the voiceover part, not the gameplay part. The gameplay part is completely fine, but the voiceover part I kinda messed it up, but it's okay. So... Oh, I remember why I showed off the bestiary. I wanted to read off all the lore of the monsters, but now I decided I don't really want to do that, so that's why. Okay, that explains the long pauses. Whoops. I apologize. Yeah. You'd still be able to 100% it if you follow this video. It's just my editing sucks. Okay, so the wall, you go to it, it opens up, pick up the Book of Ease, and now we gotta go back to Sarah. So if you have a wing on you, you can in fact wing back to the city, but I decide to, reload myself because, like I mentioned, I still have to grind out the enemies here, and if I don't do it now, I might forget. So I reload myself and I fill up my bestiary. Okay. Also, I actually decide to go to, or do I? Yeah, I go to Zapik village first. Because I wanna check up on Fina. And as we can see, she's fine now, so the medicine worked. But she still doesn't remember anything. So now... Bro, this script is ass. Now... I go back to the shopkeeper to flex the new sword that I got. And then... we go to Sarah. I still show off the different art styles. I don't know why I did this. Like, it's nice that it's in the game. It's really nice, but why did I do this for this video? It messes up my rhythm. Yeah, it's okay though. My videos are always like scuffed. Okay, so time to flex the sword. He's like, the curved blade. It's from the east, no? How did you find it? Yeah, and then he, if you keep talking to him, he just says, I can't sell you one because of the lost shipment. Okay, so actually now onto Sarah. And she's not here. Well, she got murked. She's dead. Like, she actually got murdered. She's gone. No one knows why or who did it, but she did leave us another Book of Ease, and her last words were directed to us. She talked about the abandoned mines. So now, to our knowledge, the only one who's still alive that can read the Books of Ease is her aunt, Jabba. If you haven't popped the mirror next to a villager, make sure to do it now. It doesn't matter which one. There will be a text box and the achievement should pop. If it doesn't, make sure to save beforehand, obviously, right? And then just do it next to villagers and the achievement should pop. If it doesn't, just keep repeating it. Do I actually leave that in the video? I don't know. Maybe I messed up while editing. There's Rhea again. Okay, after some editing magic. The mines. Okay, where the fuck am I? Okay, yeah. We head into the mines for the first time. However, as always, we won't be doing it all right now. For now, our goal is to simply collect important items, which are the Rhoda seeds, which will allow us to talk to the trees, the harmonica, the silver armor, the timer ring, which slows enemies' movement speed, it halves it, and lastly the hearing, that will allow us not only to heal while inside dungeons, but also doubles our healing outside. It still doesn't work against bosses though. Also, one quick mention that I have to say, the item jingle. I pray that when I die, when the sweet embrace of death comes to take my soul and they put me on the blanket, that's what the angels will sing. I love that jingle so much. It's like Metroid, right? It's like the specific kind of jingle that just feels right. It hits right. Okay. So, after you've gathered these items, we will leave the mine, okay? So I still have to show a couple of items. Yep. After we have all of those though, we will leave the mine to do some more preparation, because again, for this 100% run, we want to do it all as early as possible, so we don't forget, and to give us our a boost, because we are playing on Nightmare, and if we can get a better weapon before, make sure to do it. And we also don't want to accidentally miss anything. That's why we have to do a little bit of, okay, we go in, but then we go out, and then we come back. But it's better to do it this way. It might be more annoying, maybe, but you can do it all in one run if you do it like this. Okay. So I do decide to like leave in where to go. But again, let me reiterate, you should play with the ease maps. I don't know if I can put it like in YouTube, but on Steam, literally, you click on guides and all of the maps are there. I don't know how to like post the Google image in the description. I don't know if that's possible. Okay. What am I showing now? That should be all of the items, no? Is there one missing? The Rhoda tree seed? Oh yeah, the Rhoda tree seed. Okay, finally, with all of these gathered, it's time for some more achievements. Lore and shiny new weapon. The lore you can ignore, but I like to include it. We eat the fruit, you have to equip it and use it, and are now able to talk to the trees. They seem to be like dreaming or having nightmares. The southeast one says, Darm, Black, Re, Klaya, Fear, Esper. We know of Darm Tower. Klaya seems to refer to Claria, or, which is like silver. And Fear and Despair, well, that's not a good omen. The northwestern tree dreams of Ys, goddesses, Solomon, That just seems to be reminiscing about things that we are not privy to yet. I'm supposed to put like Ys origin here, so hopefully I remember to do that. But yeah, so with that extra lore, we head back to Rhea. If you don't care about lore, skip the trees for now. Go to Rhea first. She's not where she usually is. Actually, she's on top of the wall. We find her and give her harmonica back, and she wants to know our name. As thanks, a beautiful cutscene plays where she plays us a song that also has some lyrics. Okay, sorry, I had to let that play out. So the lyrics, you equip the piece of paper that we found way earlier and use it next to her. She will thank you once again, and after leaving she sings her poem, which goes as follows. The eastern sky is stained in red. The western sky is blue. Between the lands of light and shade, my dreams are born anew. I hear the melodies of birds and taste the fresh spring air. I see the silent rhoda tree and feel I've once been there. Its sight is all I'd ever need to cry until the dawn, the lost serenity of man depicted thereupon. I feel the bird, its wings aloft, en route to clearer skies. Two moons that wax and wane out west, while east the sun doth rise. What she says after... It's just so good, man. What she says afterwards all but confirms that she and her sister, Fia, are indeed the twin winged ones, goddesses. And while she wishes that her sister could just have rested, they both do have their roles to play. The game is a bit funky, so make sure to talk to Fina on the dock in Zepik just in case. Ria's song woke up the trees, so when we go back to them now, that's why I did show the lore, but you don't have to do that. When we go back to them now, they will see that we understand them and help us out by bequeathing us a silver blade. Now it's time to head back into the mines and finish our business there. Okay, so back in the mines at the last floor, we opened the chest just above the boss room to get the Dam key, which reads, a key of shining blue crystal bearing a familiar looking crest. So, there's the boss room, you open it with the key, and the boss will pop up when you try to open the chest. This boss will most likely be the first proper roguelike for many players, especially or at least on Nightmare mode. Meet Vagulion, the creature of the mines that annihilated the village of Rastin in a single night. Yeah, it wasn't a demon invasion, it was literally just him that destroyed the whole village. It's a massive bat that can transform into like many tiny bats, and is only vulnerable when he turns into the big one for a very short window indicated by this swirly animation and sound effect. The best advice I can give is to like stutter step a lot and only run when going around the corners, since you want to stay very close to him so you can actually get you hidden, because it is a very short window when he does finally decide to reform. I don't really know whether creating more distance makes it more likely for him to reform. I did test it, but I just don't have enough data, right? But the best way I found is to stutter step and then swing big around the corners. That gives me the most consistent results. As you will see, again in the time attack run later on. Also, this makes it so the bats don't spread as much, and they do the weird animation where they cluster together real close. So that's my strategy. I still do get hit, and when you get hit, it can hit multiple times. It sucks, but it can happen. But this is the best way I found to beat them. And it works on Nightmare as well. Like, this is... I did mess up and it got close, but yeah, this is the best way in my opinion. Yeah, make sure to equip your silver gear. At this point in the game, you should be max level, which is 10. And if you mess up, just try again. Like, even on the winning run that you're seeing right now, at certain points he just decided to hit me multiple times. It's... Okay, so... You probably know that this game registers attacks weird on anything above 30 FPS. And certainly above 60 FPS. 60 works, but yeah, I'm playing on 144, so it is what it is. That's why sometimes he hits me once, but it counts as like 4 hits. Yeah, so... Ease 1. Best way to play it is actually capping the game at 30 FPS, but I will talk about that way later, because it's only really important for one fight in the game. Let's be real. You already know which fight it is. It's only really important for one fight, but I thought to mention it here because this is probably the roadblock that most players will face. Until you already know who's coming. Okay. Yeah, I'm taking it kind of slow here. Because I also didn't want to mess up. Like, I got so close, right? I didn't want to fuck it up. So, I stuck with my strategy. Just relax. It's okay. Stick to the plan. Stick to the plan. And yeah, down he goes. So, of course, he was also guarding a Book of Ease. And, interestingly enough, there's a room to the top left. And in that room, we will actually find 2 pedestals. And it seems like 2 statues have guarded it. So it's very likely that this was actually where Rhea and Fina were petrified. And they were guarding whatever is behind that door. So anyways, with the new Book of Ease and Tao, let's head back to Onjaba and have her translate the books for us. However, we will take an unconventional way there. So we head back to the port town and visit the clinic for an achievement that we're still missing. So I think I mentioned that at the Thai War thing, where I might be able to do the achievement then. You can't. It's actually after the mine. So I'm pretty sure I show like the whole run back. Yeah, I decided to show the whole run back. And the main reason for that is it's not getting to the port town. It's once we're there, you have to go to the northwestern Rhoda tree, and beside it you will hear some fighting. And I just decided to like leave it in the video because some people might get annoyed at this part, because it is kinda fucky-wucky to find. So this part will be annoying, but yeah, there you go. We go to the clinic at the port town. And we meet a man called Luther Gamma, or Jamma. And he is actually the husband who keeps sleepwalking. So in the town of Zepik, you found a woman that talked about her husband sleepwalking, and it's getting like super annoying. But yeah. So he now wandered off again And we have to find him and rescue him. So you go to the northwestern tree, which I'll just let the video play out for now. And you'll hear some fighting, and then you save him, and the achievement tied to this should pop. Excuse me, this will also give us a free TP to Jabba. Oh my god, I'm sorry, I'm so sorry. And then she'll be able to translate the Books of Ys. Ay, ay, ay. I haven't talked this much in a while. Okay. So in this part, you can hear it right now. You can hear some fighting, and it actually took me a while to find them. And another reason why I decided to leave this part in is this is the place where you can farm the piglets. They count for the bestiary, so make sure to kill these pigs until it's filled out. So already I went past it. But yeah. I think it was actually to the right there, if I remember correctly. It took me a while to find them. And I was scared at this point that he might actually die. I don't know if he can. I don't think he can. Sorry for being so quiet. I didn't remember it being this long. This took me a while. Wow. Brother, just go to the right. Yes, there you go. Okay, so finally. So we save him. And then it's an escort, right? You don't actually escort him. It just TPs you right to the town. So he talks about this weird sleepwalking that he has, which happened after the demons popped up. Another connection. Which, yeah, I decided to leave this dialogue in as well. But yeah, the connection will be made clear, like, right now. So since we're in the town, we go to Jabba, and she translates it. But first I think I go in his house actually. Yeah, I decided to talk to him. I recorded way too much. This is unnecessary. And it's already like the edited down version. Oh my god, I still need to go back to the mine to farm. I mean, I already did it. Why am I talking as if all is, was, and will be? I already did it. I'm recording the voiceover. What? Anyways. I also go into the wrong house. Oh my god. Okay, finally. So now we can have her translate the books. Because now she knows that Sarah has passed. And she's the only one that can translate them now. And she tells us about the bloodlines as well. The story is starting to connect the dots. So the 3 Books of Ys that we currently have in our possession are the Book of Hardal, the Book of Tova, and the Book of Gemma. I will leave it on screen right now, but I will read them later. And you will understand why then. So Jabba is actually of the Tova bloodline. And they play a major role, not in the Ys game series, but in the story of the land of Ys. So this isn't really a spoiler, but it kind of is a tiny spoiler. But this mostly concerns Ys 1, 2, and Origins. Origins is a prequel that is set 700 or 1,000 years before Ys 1. And Ys 2 directly takes place, like, after 1, like, immediately after 1, not shortly after, immediately. And 2 takes place in the land of Ys. Ys was basically part of the world, right? And then they raised it up into the sky, so it's like a reverse Atlantis because of the demons that came forth, and they came forth because of the black orb that generated magic. Ys 2 and Origins, okay? Ys 2 and Origins. But yeah, Ys is a country. And it's also in real life, so in our world, it's a fictional thing, kinda like Xanadu, but the British version, I think, of Xanadu. But yeah, there you go. So the Tovas are like somewhat of a keeper line, and that's why Sarah and Jabba are still able to translate this ancient language, because their bloodline are descendant of the priests that were like responsible for keeping everything in what's the word? The word escapes me. I'm sorry. But each bloodline had like a specific purpose. Okay, so at this point you kind of have to like go back and forth in order to trigger the game to progress. So you have to talk to Jabba, go outside, talk to Fina, go outside, go back, talk to Jabba, then go to the bandit, and he will finally open the door for you. This is roughly the halfway point of the game. He's, by the way, the son of Jabba, which is kind of funny. So. So in order to not walk back and forth like me, what you want to do is talk to Jabba, leave, talk to Fina, leave, go back, talk to Jabba, make sure she read all of the books, and Fina is next to her, then go to the bandit Goban, and he should let you in. I messed it up, and I went like back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, but that's how you properly do it. Very, very, very important. This is the cut-off point I was talking about. Once you go into Darm Tower, it's over. So, fill out your whole bestiary before entering Darm Tower. You cannot go back. Once you're in, there's no escape. You will be missing 2 character notes. That's intended. But fully fill out your bestiary up to and including enemy number 20. Okay? Enemy number 20. Up to and including. You want no question marks. Everything needs to be filled out. And you want every character except for 2. 2. Those 2, you can't miss them. They're in the tower. Okay. Now, let me take a short break. And then it's finally time for the end of the game, the last dungeon. Alright. So, Dam Tower, the final dungeon of the game, and roughly the other half of the game. Dam Tower Part 1. This includes floor 1 to 9, and oh boy, is it a tower. I don't know if the words was intended to be German, because it would mean intestine, but Adel is from, I think it's called Germania, in universe, right? It's based off our world, but it's not our world. And you know, sometimes Japanese fiction from time to time they like to throw in some German. I do also really appreciate the background while climbing down tower. You're able to see some places you visited, like, oh, there's Zapping Village. I was there. And it actually shows time passing. Since remember, we only have until sunrise. The game doesn't have like an internal clock, like you only have 2 hours to beat the game. It's just, in lore, you only have until the next day. And climbing the tower actually takes like, what, 7 hours or something? But yeah, so we meet Raba in a second, and he's hiding behind a secret wall. You need the mask of eyes to actually see it, but he refuses to leave since he lost an important item of his. This also is one of the non-missable characters that you need for the notes. You have to talk to him to progress. You'll see in a second here. We get the... 1 second. Oh yeah, I still decided to show off like the tower proper, that's why. But I'm just gonna continue for now. We also get the evil ring, which is mandatory, so don't forget to pick it up. And a mirror, which will help us with a certain room or floor later on. We fall into a trap, get all of our silver equipment stolen, and only our silver equipment, and meet Luther Gemma again. Kinda weird how all the mentioned bloodlines are now in Dam Tower, huh? Yeah, so basically everyone from the bloodlines has like an innate calling once they were needed. So right now every major player from the past is back where they need to be, or they were killed off. Also, we finally meet Dogi, our best friend, moving forward in the... I'm talking the whole game series. Every East title. Dogi is our best friend, and from the first adventure of Adel, he's there with you. He's the Wall Crusher, that's his title. He's the Wall Crusher. Unfortunately, we do have to annoy him twice more for an achievement, so make sure to fall into the trap that you fell in again and again. So 3 times in total until you were broken out a total of 3 times, meaning all cells are unlocked. He gives us the idol that Uncle Raba lost, so we bring it back to the uncle. so he can keep hiding from all the demons. That's not like meant to be an insult. He isn't a fighter, he's a scholar, and the artifact actually allows him to turn invisible. As thanks for helping him, and since he knows we need it in order to climb the tower, he grants us the blue necklace that allows us to ignore traps. You, by this point, also met every character. So just check your notes, but you should have all the characters met. So back to climbing the tower. We meet Dogi further up, and he explains a bit more about the radar and the tower, and mentions a rod that's somewhere here in the tower. I keep saying tower, I'm so sorry. Also, I die after getting cornered. Again, reminder, make sure to save a lot. Level 10 is the max. There's not much more power you will be getting from here on out. But our silver sword is finally back in our hands, and the lore of the Genoid monster actually mentions that they were descended from giants, and whose job is literally to guard the sword and shield, the silver one that is, also called Claria. What's next? Yeah, well, it's actually noon now, so time has passed. Therefore, we must trek on, we fight more Genoids and get rewarded with a stolen silver shield. But this wakes up the surrounding Normus, those are the statues. They suck to fight, but you gotta do what you gotta do. It is now, however, time for the first boss of Dam Tower. Alright, first boss of Darn Tower. namely the mantis. Oh my god, let me scoot this over. Pictimos. He runs from left to right and throws sickles at you. The best way to beat him is stand at the bottom of the arena. So the travel time is increased, the one like his sickles, and then hit him once, maybe twice. On Nightmare mode specifically, he's able to attack again once the first one, like the first of his blades return. In any other mode, I think, maybe on hard not, but in any other mode, he can only attack after all have returned. This is somewhat important for time attack, since that isn't on Nightmare difficulty, but for this Platinum story run, keep that in mind. He attacks after the first one returns. So, stands at the bottom, he throws out 3 very quickly, go in, hit him once or twice, go back to the bottom. And that's it. As a reward, of course, we get another Book of East. And a hammer, which are both mandatory to progress, so don't forget them now, and it's on to the second part of Darm Tower, which will cover floor 10 to 16. So I don't know why you wouldn't open these chests, but yeah, just make sure to pick them both up. You need the book, and you need the hammer. So, my editing software kinda messed things up, but also not. So some parts are a bit weird and some parts aren't. I truly apologize. But it should be fine to just leave more gameplay in, because that way, I don't know, it makes for a more chill experience? I don't know. But yeah, after a while of climbing the tower, we should meet Ankaraba again in the door on floor 11. Am I? 1 second. Okay, the good thing is the editing didn't shuffle things around. It just reversed some of my cuts. Anyways, there's Jammer. He's hurt again. But he also tells us about one of the girls. Wait, did it... 1 second? Okay. I think I left that in on purpose. But why? I don't remember... I know this is very copulating, but I left certain things in on purpose, but I don't remember why. Like, for example, I think I cut it out this time. But where you get the weapon, the shield, and the armor, but we made sure to get those before entering the tower. But no, yeah, this should be deleted. This shouldn't be in here. So let me fix that. It was actually completely fine. It's just Darm Tower is so confusing that I thought I made a mistake. It's actually not. It's completely fine. But yeah. So on this floor we will meet Ankaraba again. This is floor 11. And it's the scary pipe room, like you hear that music in the background. That music will kill you. So you see how much your HP drains? So just make sure to run into that room and talk to Raba. He will tell you to rest up and that the scary pipe music is coming from the balcony. So make sure to equip your hammer, head back to the balcony, and find the pillar that is responsible for this. You actually do have to equip the hammer, stand in front of the correct pillar for this to work. So backtrack, find the pillar, smack it with the use item button, and then we will be able to progress. Alright. So now we head back. Oh, nice ankle break by me. What about Teknodora? I played college football, you know. Metal Gear Rising Vengeance was a fun game. But yeah, so as you can see, he's actually gone now since we cleared the scary, life-draining music. And we shall meet him further up. I think I checked the map there. Okay, so first mirror maze, I think, is up ahead. Not yet. Man, this tower is so confusing. Oh, I was farming the enemies. And here I show like which enemies at this point you should have all noted in your book. Why did I leave that in? It's fine. It's fine. Okay, yeah, this is the first mirror maze. You can hear the music change. Okay, so Raba is here once again, and he informs us of the blue-haired girl being in the tower. However, there is a door that will only open for one who is truly evil-hearted. And that is not us. So, good thing we picked up, way back, the evil ring. The mirror maze is inaccessible for now, so we go the other way and meet our next boss. Consclardo. I show off the music here. But yeah, Consclard. He's a red sphere thing that is surrounded by rocks, and you know, he like shoots them out. They can't all be winners, I guess. Like, I'm sorry, the fight sucks, okay? I haven't found a proper strategy. Instead, you just hit him while circling around, and hopefully he should go down before you do. And like, I'm not joking, by the way, that is how you beat him in time attack as well. You will see that later. I tried fighting him while baiting out attacks and looking for a window and not just circle around him. And I didn't really find one. Like, legit, you just circle, and because of bump combat, you will damage him, and that's how you win. You will deal more damage than he will deal to you. And if you do die, you literally just repeat that. But yeah, he's on screen right now. So let's watch the fight, I guess. Okay. Let me check my notes. Not my in-game notes. I'm talking about my real-life notes. So yeah, he was guarding the rod, and this will allow you to actually move through the mirror maze and another Book of Ease. So, it's time to go back to the mirror maze, and also on the balcony you will see that it's nighttime now, so we kinda gotta hurry. However, there should be enough time to get our silver armor back. Now we just gotta find where it is. Okay. So there you go. Beautiful scenery, by the way. But yeah, it's nighttime. We head back to the mirror maze. I take in the sights. Okay, as long as this from here on out didn't get messed up, we're Gucci. So I decided to do some grinding beforehand, but yeah. This should be the way to the silver armor. No, it's not the... No, you do get the silver armor here, right? I'm sorry, I'm trying to remember. Yeah, and that chest should be the silver armor. Let's see here. Yeah, this is the silver armor. Okay, I was remembering correctly. Okay, so now for the actual way. You go into that mirror. Then you juke. You don't have to juke him. Then you go down. It should be that mirror. And then you go into the... was it right or left? I should have showed it in the video, but and then you go back into the same one. That's the trick. I'm sorry, I'm kind of getting tired. But yeah, it should have been fine in the video. But the trick is basically after the double door, you go into the right one, and then you go back into the one you just came out of. That's the trick to this. But yeah, there's another battle upgrade. There's another upgrade, armor upgrade. It's the battle shield. It's the last tier of gear actually in the game. The flame sword, the battle shield, and the battle armor. Picking this up, however, spawns some unsavory enemies right behind us. And actually it's two, but nothing we can't handle. And now it should be off. Yeah, Da Vinci messed up really bad today, huh? It's weird. Yeah, apologies. It's I've been awake for a long time and I've been working on this video for a long time, so... Yeah, I had a brain fart. After this, to the left, big bridge, we see the twin moons, and that's the annex. And that's where, was it the Rhea or Fina? Is actually waiting for us. I'm wondering, why did I decide to, like, show this? Like, yes, this is 100% playthrough, but I didn't need to show the whole tower. It's fine. It's whatever. Yeah, I'm sorry. My recording software messed up. I had it all prepared, but it just deleted like half of my work. It's annoying. Yeah, it's fine. We'll make do. We'll make do with it. As long as it didn't mess up like the last fight. Like this, for example, should be deleted. Why is it still in there? It's just a time waste. Anyways, up ahead, there's the big scary door that will only let you pass if you're evil enough. So, very important. Equip the blue necklace first, then the evil ring. This will negate the life drain of the ring while allowing you to benefit from it and enter. So, Ria is inside, and she tells us that this time she did let herself be captured because she's needed here. And also, she has to be here in order to help us. Again, all is, was, and will be. She tells us more about the Black Cape man, and that his name is Dark Fact. Yes, that is his actual name, not a title. She also hands us a monocle, which will allow us to be able to read the Books of Ease. This will be very important later on. Also of note is that his armor is made of Claria, and only Claria can harm him. This is important because the game throws you a curveball by giving you an entire better tier of armor and weaponry. By the way, Claria is silver, if I didn't mention that by now. So while silver isn't like the best in game or in the world of like the world of East, it is the only thing that can harm Dark Fact that we have in our possession. Like there might be magic that could harm him, but we can't use magic, so we have to use Claria against his Claria. So when you leave, make sure to unequip the ring first and then the amulet. The guides that you find online actually often tell you it's the other way around, but as you can see right here, it's not. You will die this way because the ring will refuse to be taken off. It forces itself into your body. So, unequip the ring first, because if you unequip the necklace first, the ring won't get off. Okay? Now, with all of this out of the way, we go back and continue climbing the tower. Okay. In a second, this should be... Oh yeah, this is the hallway, by the way, that I was alluding to with the mirror. In this hallway, the strategy that you can use is equip the defense ring and then the attack ring and then pop a potion. I tried to show that off here. I still died. It's okay. What worked for me was using the mirror and attack ring. That is the best way to do this. But I do need to like cut this out because this is too much of a mess. I apologize. Okay. Okay. Almost done. Almost done. I really love this game. It's just, you know, if you've ever made videos, if you have like a big project and you put the work in, right? And then either like let's say your PC crashes or your hard drive crashes or you lose the footage or it gets corrupted. It's kinda a downer. But I'll make up for it at the end where I get a little bit more hype again. But it's all okay. A video should be fine. So let's just continue. Yeah. So, there should be some new armor right here. Yeah, I just show off what happens if you don't have the necklace equipped. It counts as a trap, but it puts you right there, right? So it doesn't mess you up. It doesn't take away all your silver armor. It just puts you right there as like a small reminder. So that's the battle armor, the last tier of gear. When I said it's a curveball, by the way, there is one more boss we have to face before the end. So you can actually make use of the new tier of gear against the enemies while climbing the tower and against the penultimate boss. It's just that the game is trying to trick you, right? So you spend like another hour or so climbing the tower and fighting all these enemies. The game is trying to make you forget about the whole silver thing. But yeah. There's a room coming up with the last piece of equipment, and it's gonna be the flame sword. And that room, when they burst out of the walls, make sure you have your timer ring equipped. And that is, unironically, the hardest enemy in the game. I'm not even joking. So, the footage should be coming up. So the enemies that we are about to see, was it this? Yeah. Boom, there you go. These guys are called Fort. And the way I farmed them is you go into that room where you picked up the flame sword. You run to the left in the corner where you should be safe most of the time, and you save the game. So right here. And then you go out and go back in, and you try to get them like that. Sometimes you can even get them both at the bottom. After that, you equip your heal ring. You heal back to full. I decided to like leave it in once to showcase this. You save, and you do this over and over again. There you see, I died. It will happen. Just keep at it, and sooner or later, you will have your bestiary completed. They're not the last enemy, they're just the hardest enemy in the game. So, next up is... Oh yeah, okay, so I kinda show like different ways that I did it. Just to like, to show you to not get discouraged. Like, this is legit hard. The specific enemy is legit hard. It's annoying. It will take you some time. Just keep at it. You're gonna get there eventually. And there you go. Okay. Now, since the compendium is full, we keep on climbing the tower. As always. This is the second mirror maze, and home to the penultimate boss of the game. They're called Yoglex and Omulgun. Can I try to pronounce that better? Yoglex and Omulgun. Yoglex and Omulgun. Yoglek and Omulgun. Yeah. Some weird names. So behind that door, once you enter the mirror, it's boss fight time. Which ring do I equip for the moral boost? Anyways, you want to hit the yellow head with one horn. That's the only one that takes damage. And every time you do hit them, they swap places. My strategy is bad. You kinda sneak between the rotating orbs and run diagonally through to minimize damage to yourself. There are strats where you wait like at a certain point at the bottom of the screen. Like there's a part where you can't get hit. But me personally, I'm just way too hectic for that strategy. So I just run diagonally through and you should be fine. Also, the more damage you deal to them, the easier it will actually get because the orbs decrease. And yeah. So let's just watch the fight play out. I think I did better in the time attack. But that's the boss. And after you beat them, the mirror, the big one, will now break. And behind that is the staircase to the final boss of the game, Dark Fact. But of course, it can't be that easy. Oh, no. So, what do you have to do now? In order to be allowed into the room, first, equip the monocle, and read all 5 books of Ys in your possession. They read as follows. The Book of Hadal. Long ago, Claria was created in Ys. It was displayed in the Temple of Solomon as a monument to prosperity. But suddenly, disaster struck. In the shadows of that prosperity, evil had grown and brought with it seeds of suffering. It struck with all-consuming fury, and in the wake of its demon hordes, even the fair lands of Salzhetter became as ash. But even if all were to be wiped away, the prosperous and the suffering alike, the twin trees and twin moons would forever watch over this land. The Book of Tova. Ys was healed by 2 goddesses and 6 priests. Those are the bloodlines. The goddesses embody the spirit of our land and inspire our lives. One represents order and the other freedom. If we were to ever lose them, all our struggles and achievements would come to naught, and we would never again know peace. We must not lose the goddesses regardless of the cost, even unto eternity's shadow. The Book of Dabi. I speak now of the disaster of Ys. He rose suddenly and attacked our cities. He called forth molten stone from the bowels of the world to burn our fields and traps us in a sea of fire. It was terrible and absolute. One by one our proud nations were blown out like candles, and darkness and chaos stole our world. Surely the Claria was the cause. Was it not the harbinger of darkness? Thus we sealed it within the darkness, in the ground, so that hope may shine anew. Forget it not, and never lay hands upon it again. The Book of Mesa. We have finally found ourselves cornered in the Temple of Solomon. The 6 great demons stalk our every step and will be upon us soon. We have decided to leave this land for now in hope that we may one day return. Take heed, O divided peoples, for grievous times loom upon all paths of the future. But do not lose hope, for time is decreed that a guide shall come. O peoples, still your laments. And lastly, the Book of Gamma. He came, bringing his demon hordes with him, and amidst our darkest terrors the goddesses disappeared. They have not been seen hence. Have we been forsaken? We of the line of Gamma know an ancient story. It speaks of an amulet made of translucent blue crystal. This amulet, the story says, has the power to destroy the dream and spread its curses. Take note, however, of the weight that time has wrought upon this tale. Proceed with wisdom, for there is danger. After reading all the books yourself, we gotta run all the way back down to Rabba, who tells us that Letter has a different amulet that should be of use. So next up, go to him. He sees the books of Gamma. He is of the Gamma bloodline. As mentioned in the book, they have the amulet. Decides to give you an heirloom, the blue amulet, which is needed to face dark fact. The amulet states, it is an heirloom of the Gamma family, shines with a pale and frigid light. Luckily by now you should easily be able to do the mirror mazes, but still, all the way back up and onto the final boss. So, prosperous nation, they got arrogant, they did a lot of magic shenanigans, the demons came, they decided, oh shit, so they dug it into the ground and raised Ys to the sky. So before you go into the boss room, equip your silver sword, shield and armor. Also equip the new amulet to open the door, and save. Dark Fact has something to say. Okay. I'm sorry, there was a lot of reading and speaking. It's time. It's time. He says that we must be the swordsman that Diarrhea spoke of, and that it's impressive that we managed to find the books of Ys. But by unlocking these secrets, his plan will come to fruition, and with our death today his name shall be sealed in the pages of history, and that when the 6 books are gathered, a great power will be revealed. That was spoken of. But that we will not be alive to see it. However, we only have 5 books, so that means Fact does in fact have the 6th one in his possession. And that means the last bloodline is the House of Fact. But alas, thus the battle begins, and let me tell you something, fellow adventurers, you are not prepared. Some people say Dark Fact isn't hard, but don't let that bring you down. At the very least on Nightmare, he is really painful to deal with, especially on modern machines. Why, you might ask? Well, I will leave one of my 144 FPS runs in just to showcase how this fight looks if you don't cap your game to at least 60, but preferably 30 FPS. On 144 FPS, it took me about 2 hours worth of tries to beat him. On 60, only about 6 minutes, which is like 10 tries. On Nightmare mode. Keep this in mind, this is Nightmare mode. In Time Attack, I did it all first try. So fight mechanics on Nightmare, a lot of projectiles, and every time you connect a hit, the platforms under you get destroyed. So the solution for this fight on Nightmare, don't stop moving, hit him preferably while predicting his movements and it's fixed. Hurt his shadows or cape and not his body, and go with him. And honestly, people joke by saying to pray, but just keep at it even on Nightmare with capped FPS. It is so much easier. My game actually didn't listen to my PC settings, so I had to use a program to limit it. I had this program since another game I played didn't work above 60 FPS. That game was Ayuden Chronicles, and the program is called River Tuner Statistics Server. I don't know why that's the name, but anyways, after we beat Dark Fact, we can pick up the last book of Ease, which reads, The Book of Fact. Suddenly, in the new light of the rising sun, his siege stopped. Wherefore it happened, no one knows, even now. But there was rejoicing, for it meant the end of our suffering. To ensure that he should never return, we have sealed away the power of Ease. It lies within the 6 books and will be given to one who collects them all, so that he may become a guide and lead us to peace. But heed ye who read these words. Those who use the powers of demons shall one day be consumed by them. The prosperity held within it is a lie. It is he who leads that shapes the form of evil. All that is, jewel and adamant alike, is a treasure of Ease, is given us by our merciful goddesses. And with that, the book's power unsealed, form a ring around us and shoot us off into the mythical city of Ease. And the story will be continued in Ease 2. If you have Ease 2 installed, the game actually just boots straight up into it, which is very interesting. It's kinda like those old PS1 or older games that were too big for like one disc, so at a certain point in the story you had to insert disc 2 to continue. The ending scene describes that after Fact's defeat, the world felt at peace, and that the book's writing vanished, and instead the goddesses began to materialize, and while unfamiliar in some ways, it felt as if he'd always known them. And while he looked down on Earth, you could see the places he'd visited, and decided if he'd ever see Fina again, he'd tell her of everything he's experienced. Adel, bathed in radiance, shot up into the sky and begins a new journey. And that, my fellow adventurers, is the end of Ease 1. However, there's still one achievement missing, technically 2, but one of them is just doing everything else. So while I end off this video, let's do it while showing the time attack. Okay, so first and foremost, why do I love the Ease series so much? Well, what makes it special to me, at the very least on each first playthrough, is each game truly feels like I was on an adventure. Like the sights, the people, the music, what happens, how everything ties together. It is wonderful, and no other games aside from, to me personally, Final Fantasy X specifically ever made me feel that way. And while I personally, for example, didn't like, let's say, Breath of the Wild or Tears of the Kingdoms in a critical sense, those games as well, like, I'm gonna use the word fun. They were fun. So critically, I might not have enjoyed those, but how do I say this? Like, not a lot of things are, to me, like, fun. I don't want to, like, get too deep into it, but, like, not a lot of things are fun to me. The Ease games in particular are always wonderful to me, and that's why they're special. And no other series even comes close. Like I said, Final Fantasy X in of itself, yes, but no other game series. So I decided, fuck it, let me actually try and work on a video and share this with other people who might have not heard about Ease. But I also didn't just want to replay Nordics and be like, yeah, play this one or Lacrimosa of Dana and that it. like ended on that in a 5-minute video. So instead, I wanted to replay the games from start to finish, do everything, get the 100% or platinum trophy, show other people how to do it as well, while explaining the game, talking about it, and just vibing, I guess. I also don't expect people to actually start with East 1, but I'm planning to sooner or later make one of these videos for each entry in the series, so there should be something for everyone. Long story short, I really like the E-series and I just wanted to share it with someone. That's about it. So if you made it this far, thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Take care, don't get bullied. And before I say the last sentence, yeah, I mainly make videos for myself, right? But maybe one person out there sees this and puts it on the second monitor, or actually watches it. Maybe I made you smile once. So that's basically the reason why I upload them publicly, right? I make the video for myself, and then I decide to make them public in case anyone actually wants to watch this. So I leave you off with the time attack run. It's very short. It's like 4 minutes or so in comparison to this monster of a video. But yeah, thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Take care, don't get bullied, and I'll talk to you on the next adventure. Bye bye.